Hello everyone. Hello again today. This is my second video for the day. I do hope that you're all doing very well and that you're coping okay with these tough energies that we're dealing with. This video is for the astrology, just roughly the main things that are happening in the sky in the month of June, because June is a very, very important and very pivotal month. I did promise you that I would be putting the astrology on a separate video, so this is it. It's only an audio, as it would take really long to go into all the small details. Slowly and gradually I will be doing that, but for today, just letting you know what the main things are for the month of June. Before I go into that and get into the details, I'd just like to let you know that I've been promising a video of Psyche and Eros, my two kitties, and I've been promising that I will upload something. We've actually done another YouTube channel for them, as we're going to be showing them as they're growing. Now, Psyche and Eros were in mythology. Eros is the god of love. Psyche was a beautiful um, human. She wasn't a goddess. And, you know, there is an amazing story behind this love story. So when Psyche, our first kitty, came into our life, we called her Psyche, and then came Eros a week later. So if you're interested in checking out the kitties, I've got the link for the video on the kitties in the description box below, and that will take you to Psyche and Eros. Now, under that video, under the kitties video, you can also go to the link, which is the mythology around this love story. So around the god Eros and his beloved Psyche. It's an amazing story, so I would suggest you go and see it. Now, I would love it if you could give me a like there. If you could subscribe and share the video, that would be amazing. I want to thank you for all the love that you share with me, and the fact that there is this everyday connection, let's say, like, you know, uploading videos every day, and the comments have been amazing. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Let's go on to the astrology now, as June is a very important month, as I was saying before. So just the main aspects, because most of you that listen to me are new to astrology, so we're not going in depth, but what I will be doing, as we've got a lot of retrogrades, and I hope that you've all viewed the video on the eclipse, which happened on the 5th of June in Sagittarius, the full moon lunar eclipse, where there I explain the astrology for each and every sign, and then I take some tarot cards as well around the energies working for each sign. Now, the eclipses last for ages, so that video is not only for the 5th of June, it's for the next year at least. So I would suggest you go and watch that. The link should be in the description box again below. But I will be doing the same format for the retrograde planets. Now, what's coming up in the astrology for June? Okay, so we've had, let's say on the 5th of June, we had the full moon prenumbral lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. Okay. Now, what's important to mention here is on the 18th of June, okay, Mercury will be retrograding in the sign of Cancer at 14 degrees and 46 minutes in the sign of Cancer. Okay. Mercury will be retrograding on the 18th of June up until the 12th of July. So Mercury is retrograding in between the 5 degrees of Cancer and the 14 degrees of Cancer. So for those of you that are familiar with your own charts, if you've got anything around those degrees, then this will be important for you, especially. Okay, now because Cancer is a cardinal sign, Cancer, Libra, Then we've got Aries and Capricorn. So they're the cardinal signs. If you've got anything around those degrees, it's very important for you. Mercury retrograde, okay, and I will be doing a video on that explaining what happens with a Mercury retrograde and how it affects each and every sign. So look out for that video. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new to this channel, or please do. And if you haven't pressed the notification bell, please do so you know when I'm uploading. Okay, now next we've got the sun entering Cancer. This is the summer solstice on the 20th or 21st, depending on where you are in the world, of course. And the summer solstice is when the sun moves into Cancer, which is a cardinal sign. Okay, so it's like the first day of summer in the northern hemisphere. As the earth changes, it like moves. The northern hemisphere moves closer to the sun, and therefore in the southern hemisphere it's the first day of winter. Okay, so a very important day, and we are having the eclipse happening the day after, or it's hours difference. So it's at 0 degrees Cancer. Okay, the eclipse is actually 0 Cancer and 21 minutes. So it is the summer solstice and the eclipse in the sign of Cancer, which is a new moon. So it means new beginnings. Okay, new beginnings. What is Cancer? It's the home, it's the family, it's our security, it's our lineage, it's the past as well, it's our mother. Okay, so that is very important, you know. 21st of June, very important eclipse, 0 degrees of Cancer, and that's the last eclipse in the sign of Cancer. As we've been, you know, the nodes have changed. They moved from Cancer, Capricorn, they now recently moved into the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius. And that's why we had an eclipse in Sagittarius, but we're finishing up with eclipses on the axis Cancer, Capricorn. Okay, so there will also be one more last eclipse in the sign of Capricorn, so that will be the axis Cancer, Capricorn. The eclipse is finishing up on the 5th of July. So another eclipse in the sign of Capricorn, but again, I'll be doing another video on that. So look out for that. So as I was saying, on the summer solstice, that eclipse will be very important, okay, as it is a new moon. And new moons, we start something new, and there's a lot of cardinal energy, okay, a lot of cardinal energy. Even though Mars is still in the sign of Pisces, it will be close to the last degrees. So, you know, last degrees are they're amplified. So this eclipse is just before Mars moves into Aries. And therefore it's going to be quite, you know, we're going to be wanting to move forward. We won't be able to. And I feel as though once Mars does move into Aries, we're going to be catapulted, okay, and start acting and reacting and taking action. Nevertheless, right after that new moon solar eclipse on the solstice, on the 23rd, we're going to have Neptune retrograding at 20 degrees and 58 minutes of Pisces. Okay, Neptune will be retrograding all the way up until the 29th of November. Okay, so it will be retrograding from 20 degrees back to 18 degrees. So this is mutable energy. So all the mutable signs, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, will be affected mainly. Not that others are not, but because it's in mutable energy, it's more important for the mutable signs. So if you've got something around the 20 degree mark, 18, 20 degrees of the mutable signs, this is important for you. I will be doing that video, and we can go into the details of how it'll affect each and every sign. Okay, so it is retrograde time, no doubt. A lot of the planets are retrograding. Okay, what happens after the Neptune retrograde? 2 days later, on the 25th of June, we're having Venus, the goddess of love and money, moving direct at 5 degrees of Gemini. So she'll be moving direct. So everything that's been going on for you, you know, since she started to retrograde around mid-May, I think it was, yeah. It's like she's going to be covering over the same degrees again. So this will be all systems go. Okay, and this was a long stay in the sign of Gemini as well for Venus. 2 days after that, Mars enters Aries. And we know, a lot of us know that Venus and Mars have been squaring. They're the lovers of the zodiac. That's why I've got the Eros and Psyche. They're the lovers, but they're the second generation, okay? Because the first generation was Aphrodite, which was Venus, and Mars, which is god Ares, okay? And they were the lovers. They came together and produced Eros, the love child. So this is the second generation of love. It's really interesting, their stories. So with Venus and Mars having squared, there's a lot to do with love and, you know, trying to, a bit of a tug of war is a square, right? So trying to get to the importance of the matter, trying to get the energy to move into connecting with our beloved, our other half, our soulmate, whatever the case is. These were the lovers. So it's all about, you know, anything that is shaky means that it is necessary for things to change. This is either ironing out those creases, having those important conversations, figuring out who is your beloved, okay? Are they the one for you? That's what it's all about. Now, Mars entering Aries, this is the warrior. Okay, this is the warrior for love. Someone's ready to take the action for love. Mars is also the god of war. And in the sign of Aries, it's not easy. But it gives us that, as I said, that energy to move forward. I will be doing a video on that as well. So I do hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm really enjoying giving them to you, producing them for you. And again, I want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel, for liking, sharing, and just being there. Okay, and the last important thing happening in the month is on the 30th of June. This is going to be the second meeting of Jupiter and Pluto conjoining in the sign of Capricorn. Now, the first meeting that they had was on April 4th of this year at 24 degrees of Capricorn, 25 degrees. The second meeting will be on the 30th of June at 24 degrees and 7 minutes. So it's gone, we know that they're retrograding. They're both retrograding. They're going backwards, okay, in the sign of Capricorn. The third meeting will be on November 12th of 2020 at 22 degrees of Capricorn, 22 degrees and 52 minutes. So from 24, roughly 25 degrees, up until almost practically 23 degrees. So those 2 degrees are very important as they're outer planets and they move slowly, right? Those degrees of cardinal signs, so Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra, they're the cardinal signs. If you've got anything around those degrees, this is especially important for you. So this is the second meeting. Jupiter now is all about expansion. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Pluto is the smallest, but it's the most furthest out. So therefore its energy is way stronger than what even Jupiter, if you see the size difference between Jupiter and Pluto, It's, Pluto is tiny. It's like an atomic bomb, let's say. Okay, that's how strong its energy is. Jupiter is expansion. It can be benevolent, but it can also mean anything. I mean, Jupiter, anything it touches on, it expands. So we've got these two huge energies. Now, Jupiter is benevolent. Thank goodness for that. Pluto can be dark, but it can also mean wealth. It can mean the masses. Jupiter expands. It brings benevolence. It brings luck. Now, for those of you that have got Jupiter, Pluto in your charts in a good aspect, this could mean a lot of wealth, like being very, very rich, okay, very, very wealthy. As I said, Jupiter expands everything. Pluto is transformation. It's also the people, the masses. So this is a very, very important aspect that's happening in the sky. And I do hope that it works out well for all of us. This could also mean transformation where our beliefs are concerned, any risky undertakings, wanting to go on an adventure, that's Jupiter. Also, Pluto can be authorities. So this could be benefits coming from the law, from the authorities, from a government, anything like that. Okay, so this is expansion, personal expansion and growth. And it can be a very ambitious time as well. It can be very successful. That's how I'd like to see it. So let's just hope for the best for all of us, for all of humanity. I will leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for your patience in me giving you this video, as this should have been done probably before June began, but it's busy times, and we know that 2020 is a very transformational year, and it's very challenging as well, as Capricorn asks a lot of us. So at least, better late than never, they say. So I will leave you with that, everyone. Thank you so much for all that you do. I will be back with more.